If your plants look green but refuse to grow, if your harvest keeps shrinking no matter how much fertilizer you add, your soil isn't just tired, it's dying. And honestly, most gardeners don't even realize they're the ones causing it. The biggest mistake I see, even from experienced growers, is feeding plants directly instead of feeding the soil. That shortcut slowly destroys microbial life, locks nutrients in place, and leaves you with weak roots and inconsistent yields. I've tested this across raised beds, containers, and even hydroponic transitions, and the pattern is always the same. Dead soil equals struggling plants. Now, before we fix it, there's one small upgrade that makes this whole process faster and more consistent. I started using an electric composter for kitchen, ETL listed 3.2-litre countertop compost bin because I got tired of waiting weeks for usable compost. This thing breaks down kitchen waste into usable material in hours, not weeks, which means I can feed my soil continuously without gaps. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It solves a problem most gardeners ignore: irregular organic input. And that's a big reason soils decline over time. Now let's fix your soil in 3 days. Not by magic, but by reactivating the biology that actually grows your plants. Day 1 is where most people get it wrong. So listen carefully. The instinct is to add fertilizer. Don't. If your soil is struggling, it's not lacking nutrients, it's lacking life. You can pour in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, but if microbes aren't active, your plants can't access any of it efficiently. That's why you see yellowing leaves even after feeding. What you need on day 1 is a microbial wake-up call. Start by deeply watering your soil, not a light sprinkle. I mean a proper soak. In raised beds, I go until water penetrates at least 6 to 8 inches deep. In containers, water until you see consistent drainage. This alone reactivates dormant microbes. Then add a thin layer, about 1 to 2 centimeters, of organic matter. This could be compost, shredded cardboard, or pre-processed kitchen waste from your composter. Not thick, just enough to act as a food signal. What most people don't realize is that microbes respond faster to fresh organic input than plants do. Within hours, bacteria and fungi begin breaking this down, releasing enzymes that start unlocking nutrients already sitting in your soil. And here's the part people skip: oxygen. After watering, lightly loosen the top inch of soil. Don't dig deep. You're not tilling, you're aerating. Roots need oxygen, but so do microbes. Without it, you encourage anaerobic conditions, which actually harm plant growth. By the end of day 1, your soil's no longer dormant, it's waking up. Day 2 is where the real transformation begins. This is where most gardeners panic and overdo it. Don't. On day 2, your goal is to stabilize moisture and multiply microbial activity. Check your soil early in the morning, stick your finger in about 2 inches. If it feels dry, lightly water again. If it's still moist, leave it alone. Overwatering at this stage is one of the fastest ways to undo progress. Now, this is where I do something most people don't talk about. I add a microbial booster. You don't need expensive products. A simple compost tea works perfectly. Take a handful of compost, mix it in water, let it sit for a few hours, then water your soil with it. If you're using fast-processed compost from a countertop composter, even better. It's already broken down and microbe-friendly. What this does is introduce active microbes directly into your soil, accelerating decomposition and nutrient cycling. In hydroponic systems transitioning to organic or hybrid setups, this step is critical. Without microbial inoculation, organic inputs just sit there. With microbes, they become instantly useful. By the end of day 2, something important is happening underground. Nutrients are being unlocked, root zones are becoming active, and soil structure is improving. You won't fully see it yet above ground, but it's coming. Day 3 is when your plants finally respond. This is the day most gardeners notice visible change. Leaves begin to perk up, growth tips look stronger, Color deepens, not artificially dark green from nitrogen overload, but a healthy, balanced tone. Now, here's what you do on day 3 to lock in the results. Add a mulch layer. This is where people underestimate the power of simple materials like dry leaves, straw, or shredded cardboard. A 2 to 3 centimeter mulch layer stabilizes temperature, locks in moisture, and protects microbial life from UV damage. Without mulch, everything you did in the first 2 days starts reversing. I've tested identical beds side by side, one mulched, one bare. Within a week, the bare soil starts drying, compacting, and losing microbial activity. The mulched one keeps improving. Mulch isn't optional. It's the difference between temporary recovery and long-term soil health. Here's the part most gardeners never connect. Soil health isn't about what you add, it's about what you maintain. You can revive soil in 3 days, but if you go back to inconsistent watering, synthetic overfeeding, and leaving soil exposed, you'll be right back where you started. This is why continuous organic input matters so much. Even small regular additions, like daily compost from kitchen waste, keep the system alive. That's honestly why tools like that countertop composter changed how I garden. Instead of waiting for a pile to build up, I feed my soil in small, consistent doses. And that consistency is what keeps microbial life stable. Let me correct a common myth that's hurting your garden. People say just add more fertilizer. That advice is outdated. Fertilizer feeds plants temporarily. Living soil feeds plants continuously. If your soil is alive, you need less fertilizer. If it's dead, no amount of fertilizer will fix the underlying problem. I've seen gardeners double their yields not by adding more inputs, but by restoring microbial balance. Strong roots, better water retention, and improved nutrient uptake all come from soil biology, not chemical feeding. And this is where most advanced growers gain an edge. Once your soil is active again, you can start fine-tuning. In raised beds, this means rotating organic inputs, kitchen waste 1 week, leaf mulch the next. In containers, it means avoiding compaction by mixing in light organic matter regularly. In hydroponic hybrid systems, it means introducing controlled organic inputs without clogging or imbalance. The principles stay the same. Feed the microbes, protect the soil, and maintain consistency. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most gardeners, because now you understand something most people don't. Soil isn't just dirt, it's a living system. And once you learn how to revive it, you stop chasing problems like yellow leaves, slow growth, and poor yields. You start preventing them. Give this 3-day reset a try in even one bed or container. Watch what happens. The difference is hard to ignore. If you're serious about growing better food, improving your yields, and actually understanding what's happening beneath your plants, hit subscribe. And share this with someone whose garden is struggling. They're probably treating the symptoms instead of the cause, because once your soil comes back to life, everything else gets easier.